This is a video presentation for Exploring Numeracy 3, Assessment 3, Assessing Needs of Individual Children. This assessment required completing a Maths Online interview with a child whilst on placement. The Maths Online interview is an assessment tool used by teachers to assess and evaluate students' existing mathematical knowledge, understandings and skills. This is done in relation to points of growth associated with various mathematical domains including number, measurement and space. It also comprises of hands-on tasks where students demonstrate their mathematical knowledge, understandings and skills. The results from this interview and analysis of these results can provide teachers with valuable information which they can then use to support them in planning future learning experiences and meet student learning needs. As this assessment tool is completed online and can only be accessed by Victorian school staff, I conducted this one-on-one interview in hard copy form and used printouts from the Mathematics Online interview booklet. This one-on-one numeracy interview was conducted with a female student in grade 2. She is seen to be below average in relation to numeracy and mathematical knowledge, understandings and skills. As well as receiving support from a home read teacher, she also receives extra support from another teacher once a week. This interview focused on two domains which were counting and length. The results from this interview were recorded and included her responses to the questions asked as well as what was observed during the answering and solving of the tasks. These are the results in relation to the domain of number, more specifically counting. In interpreting and analysing the results, it seems that she does have some conceptual understanding of number and some early understandings of number sense, as she is able to complete various counting strategies and techniques with some errors. These counting strategies and techniques include one-to-one counting, as she was able to sequentially and correctly count the amount of Unifix cubes in the container. She was able to perform skip counting, which is counting by a number more than one, and was able to do so with some errors in counting by 3s and 5s. She was also able to count on and count back, as she was able to count forwards and backwards sequentially from any given number, as well as being able to state the number before and after a given number. Even though there is evidence from tasks 4 to 6 that she understands and can practice skip counting, it was seen that she was unable to apply this knowledge and skill when counting money. She could identify the $1 coin as having the value of 1, but it seemed that she did not recognize or understand the values of the other coins. For example, 50-cent coin, 20-cent coin, 10-cent coin, and so forth, which resulted in her response being $70, as opposed to the actual total being $2.85. In relation to her individual learning plan, it is clear that she can count from 0 by 5s and 10s to any given target. She can also count from any two-digit number by 10s. The proposed learning goal is for her to be able to count and apply this knowledge and skills when using money. As money is the topic being taught at the start of Term 4, the proposed time frame for this is from beginning to middle of Term 4. The first lesson for this topic is I can recognize, describe and order money. This will involve discussion around the concept of money and in particular their values and their features and characteristics. Following this discussion, children will receive pictures of money. Once they receive this money, they will work with a partner and determine the order of the money from lowest value to highest value. Once this is identified, they will then write 2 points of characteristics or features of the Lesson 2 is I can find sets of coins that equal the same. To start with, there will be discussion about what was learnt in the previous lesson. There would also be a discussion around how to write the amount of value of the money in numerical form with examples. Following this discussion, a task will be presented. This task involves children working with a partner and finding 2 examples of sets of money that can be made to equal the amounts written on the board. Once this is identified, they will need to write this in numerical form in their maths books. Lesson 3 is I can make and count collections of money. There will first be a discussion about money like in previous lessons to help reinforce their learning. Then there will be discussion around making and counting collections of money using examples on the board. Following this discussion, a task will be presented which involves the students working with a partner in answering questions on flashcards. They would need to write the number of the question and answer in their maths books. In each lesson, this child will be first involved in a whole class discussion, followed by working with a partner to complete the task. She will also be able to work with her parents in discussing money and using it when going shopping to help reinforce and expand her understanding. With this understanding, knowledge and skills gained from these lessons, future lessons involving adding and subtracting money will be planned and implemented. These are the results in relation to the domain of measurement, more specifically length. In interpreting and analysing these results, it does seem that she does have knowledge and understandings about length, as she was aware and used correct language when describing and comparing the length of the string and the stick. Even though her prediction was incorrect, she was able to compare these two objects and showed that she had a developing and understanding of measurement and length. Even though the term non-standard units was not mentioned or explained, it did seem that she was aware and had knowledge around using non-standard units of measurement when asked to measure how long the straw was using the paper clips. She did this correctly and appropriately. When expressing the measurement, she was also able to state the unit of measurement as well as the number, that is, 6 paper clips. However, it did seem that she did have difficulty in recognizing and understanding standard units. Standard units include centimeters, inches, and meters. Even though she was able to practice the correct use of the ruler, she did measure the streamer incorrectly and stated the unit of measurement as centimeters whilst using the inches side of the ruler. In relation to her individual learning plan, it is clear that she has awareness of the attribute of length and its descriptive language. She can compare, order, and match objects by length. She can use informal units to estimate and measure length. She can also use uniform units appropriately to quantify length, assigning number and unit to the measure. She can also use appropriate informal use of measurements. With this, the proposed learning goal is for her to use appropriate formal units to estimate and to measure length with accuracy. The time frame for this is the middle to the end of Term 4. In moving from the use and understanding of informal units to formal units, a proposed strategy is to introduce and explore centimeters as a unit of measurement. This can be done by using MAB blocks, as 1 MAB block equals to 1 centimeter and can be used to assist in measuring objects and help in understanding and using centimeters as a unit of measurement. This is where the child will be involved in a whole class discussion around this. A proposed activity to reinforce this is measuring various objects in the classroom using MAB blocks. This child will complete this with a partner. Another proposed learning goal within this time frame is for her to use a ruler appropriately and accurately to measure length. This will be first done by identifying and discussing attributes of the ruler, in particular centimeters. It will be emphasized that when measuring objects, it will be best to start off and make sure that the zero is aligned to one end of the object being measured, and to ensure that their eye is directly above the ruler when measuring length, as this results in accuracy. This is where the child will be involved in a whole class discussion also. A proposed activity to reinforce this is measuring various objects in the classroom that can be measured with a ruler. This child will complete this task with a partner. Using a ruler for measuring objects can also be completed at home with a child working with her parents to help reinforce and extend her understanding. Once this understanding has been developed, she can progress to using other units of measurement like millimeters on the ruler, that is, identifying and counting the little line marks on the ruler.